Hi, Rebecca here. Thanks for joining me. Today is Blue Tags, $1.99. So I will be keeping my eyes open for that. I'm not looking for anything in particular as usual. I'm just looking for things that stand out. And some things that stand out for me might not stand out for you, but these old antique chintz pattern teaware pieces can still be really popular, but it does help a lot if there's a maker's mark on the underside. So with this one, I just don't want to bother, because if you did a Google search, there would be hundreds of these types of patterns. You know, I do love ceramics and studio pottery, and this piece for $5.99 is a German maker, and they have a few pieces for sale on eBay, but nothing really too exciting. These little appetizer plates are something I would never be attracted to, but they're only $2.99 each. There's a full set, and they're made by Clay Art, and I did find some really good listings on eBay, which was encouraging. Just one of these plates sold recently for $25. And then there's 3 different pattern plates for $35.99. And then here's a set of 4 shaped like surfboards. And there were a lot of other listings that sold by this company. So this is a great deal. I'm definitely going to get those to sell. This is a martini pitcher. It usually comes with one of those big glass stir wands. So unfortunately, it is a $1.99 item today, but it's incomplete. And even though it has that atomic star pattern, I'm going to pass. You might run into a lot of these little snack sets. It's the vintage from the 50s snack trays with the little, usually there's like a dish or a little cup that fits in that circular spot there. These are iridescent, which is a little bit different, but I couldn't find the cups anywhere, and they really are saturated and they don't sell very well. Really cute little basket, ceramic basket that could be used to put cotton rounds in, or safety pins, or just little remnants of things. That's a really nice heavy mortar. And the pestle is nowhere to be found. The company is pretty well known. They currently sell products on Amazon. And it's a $1.99 item, but since the pestle is not there, we'll have to keep moving on. There's a lot of Goebel look-alike and remakes. This is still vintage, but looking everywhere, I cannot find a maker's mark. Usually if it's a Goebel, it really stands out and the maker's mark is very clear. This is a really cool 80s planter, and it's a Teleflora, which you would just think just wouldn't be popular, but because it's an 80s item, there are actually quite a few different variations that have recently sold on eBay. So I would definitely pick this up and list it. I've noticed there's a lot of elephants at the Goodwill today here, and if the maker is right, some of these resin collectibles can be worth a lot of money. This one's missing a piece in the middle. There's no particular mark that identifies who made it. So it's a little generic, even though it's really cute. I recognize this collectible. There's a lot of these little different ones by Blue Sky, and they're very collectible, but yet again, sometimes pretty saturated. This one is, I think I saw that it was $3.99, and I found some that sell for, anywhere from $15 to $20. Easy to ship and lightweight, so it'd be something to consider, especially if it was on sale. This is really neat looking Pottery Barn decorative item. If you wanted to add a splash of red into your home, there's no price on that. More elephants. This one looked good to me. It's hard plastic, and I see the maker underneath here. So I looked up the actual number and the maker on eBay, and it's the one on the top that's sold for $15. But if you looked at the one underneath it, it's a larger one that sold for $55. So that's something to keep in mind. Check out those little collectibles. This is the cutest little Schmid vintage 1980s collectible. It's a 2 candle, which means a 2-year-old happy birthday. And people still collect these and purchase these quite a bit. This one's $4.99, so it's probably a little bit more than I would want to pay. I'd probably wait for a pink tag day. It's very tiny and easy to ship. But here's one similar, but it's a 4 candle. And look at this 3 kitty nightgown set for $47.95. It recently sold for. And I love this watering can. I'm just going to get it for myself. Yes, that is an antique camera up there. I've just not really an interest to sell that, and it would probably be sold for parts, which people do still purchase because they need parts for their old pieces. But I'm just not interested in it. But you might be, someone else might be. Everything here just looks pretty generic. These candle holders are beautiful, but when I flip them upside down, it's a thinner, not very hardy type of metal. And for $4.99 each, that's definitely a no. Unless I want to take them home. This is really beautiful. It's called a sugar scuttle. You could also use it as a scooper for whatever you want to scoop with. They range in price. The maker's tag is faded. I could probably list this and just randomly sell it for $30. Just to get it sold would be probably a fair price for that. This is really cool. It's kind of like a remake of a vintage sea urchin type nail decor piece, but we'll keep moving on. Believe it or not, people still do buy these vintage Jim Beam bottles, but these particular ones, not so much. If you stick with the colored glass, you see, and the genie bottle shapes and the ornate colored glass, they still sell really well. These John Barry John Perry, burlwood, dolphin sculptures. The large ones sell for quite a lot more, but these are the smaller ones. So I'm noticing in this video that I'm not showing prices. Okay, $7.99. It's definitely a little too pricey to make any kind of a profit from. This is a Kokeshi doll. It's a larger sized Kokeshi doll. I have sold Kokeshi doll collections in the past. $5.99 for this beautiful little doll. And I would probably purchase it just to have it for a little bit and then resell it. I did see someone who was trying to sell it, the same exact one, for $90. I don't think that they will have the best success for that. That looks like an artist that's well known from Norway's work, but come to see, it's made in the Philippines, but it's a beautiful piece. It's marked very high for $19.99. I think they thought that the maker was, I think his name is Bjorn. I can't remember his last name, but it looks almost exactly like his work. And it's really darling, but they definitely priced it too high for resale, but to keep it would definitely be a joy. There's some more elephants. This looks like from the 50s, unless it's a... Nope, it definitely is vintage. This could possibly be vintage, but they also remake these to look vintage and antique, so it is very difficult for me to figure out. I researched and found some that are very similar, almost exactly alike, and they're selling for pretty good prices, but it's hard to tell exactly. And if you don't know for sure that something is antique and you list it as antique and the person who purchased it from you knows what it is, you could get bad marks. So you've got to be really careful with that. If you're not sure, then probably just pass on it. Or if you list the item, you can state you're not sure if it is truly antique and just take really good detailed photos so that the person that purchases it knows exactly what they're getting into and they're fine with it. I don't dare try to take apart that puzzle. These are very cute Nordic looking plates, but they're actually by Sango, $2.99 each. One World, but a huge set of 11 sold for only $22.99. Replacement sells one plate for $23.99, and that's all the listings I could find, so I'm definitely going to pass on that. You could possibly get away with selling one plate each for about $12 to $15 if you wanted to take the chance. And that would only sell if someone was just trying to supplement their current set. This thing is very confusing to me. I'm just not sure exactly what it is. Is it a sculpture? Is it a napkin holder? I just don't know. It's very interesting, but it's a mystery. As usual, perusing the towels. Always looking for those vintage towels that are the gold colors and the avocado colors, as I always call them Mrs. Roper towels for some reason. Hopefully I will be able to find some and show them to you, but not today. I do look at Disney brand items quite a bit. They sell really well as long as the tag has the Disney tag and it's an authentic Disney piece, which this one is. It's a beach towel that's in good condition. So I laid it out so I can see the whole towel. It's currently selling at Walmart for $40. And just to remind you, look for the vintage ones, because here's a vintage towel that just sold for $149.95. This is like my handy section. You might need some ice packs for your back. You might need some Epsom salts. Why go to the drugstore when you can find it at Goodwill and get a better price on it? Sometimes I find things in this section that I turn around and sell. I always am interested in finding, I like Aveeno products, but I'm always interested in finding Bath and Body Works items, which is what this one is, because this sold recently for $13.58, and another one, it looks like a different label, but it's the same one, for $16.50. They discontinue a lot of their different scents each year, and this is only $2.99. So that's pretty good, although it looks like a little bit may have been used, and eBay does not let you sell used items like this, so make sure there's a seal. These Simply Salines are only 99 cents each, and they are sealed, so you could purchase, I think there's 3 bottles. You could purchase all of them and sell them together on eBay for about $20 and get a really good profit and ship them all at once. This is a really nice set. I looked around the shelves and there's a full set of 8 plates and 8 bowls and 8 salad plates, and it's just a beautiful set in great condition, not for resale because it's priced a little high. These are $1.99 today since they're a blue tag, but there's no identifying marks, and it would just be a very vague thing to try to resell. $2.99 each for these little ceramic crocks by Longaberger. And Longaberger is most famous for their baskets. They started making, I believe it was maple wood baskets in the early 70s, and their baskets can go for hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars now. This is a pretty good price to purchase these and resell. This looks like a lid to a vintage basket that's not connected, but it could be used as a little plant stand to keep the water from leaking out. It has a little damage, but it could be a nice little addition to just a decor piece. This is definitely Rae Dunn. You can pretty much recognize these right away after you've seen enough of them. This one is $4.99. And it always is worth it to look up Rae Dunn items. Some of the newer and more mass-produced pieces don't sell for as much, but there's a pretty good group of these Rae Dunns that can sell for $30, $40, $50, even $100. And of course, Rae Dunn makes all types of kitchenware and plates and salt and pepper shakers and more. A really pretty lacquer Japanese lidded trinket dish. Very lightweight, easy to ship, not breakable in shipping, but also slightly vague. If I were to sell it, I'd probably list it for about $20 to $25. I'm interested in purchasing this chop plate or platter because it's a larger piece. Selling for $3.99. It could be probably an easy turnaround. Here's the same one on eBay. There's a few pieces I was considering for myself. I like to put things in the cart and walk around and continue looking, and then in the end I decide whether I want to keep these or not. These came in a bag, which you'll probably see here in the next little video clip after this. Looks like someone who was in a pottery class made these, still a student or an early potter, but they're really cute. They look like little soy sauce dishes. There they are there, and before I took them out of the bag. Well, we're coming to a close here on the video. These little yogurt ceramic cups are really nice to have at home for handiwork, but probably not a bestseller. And I like looking at flatware. Sometimes I'll sell separate pieces if it's a popular pattern. And if you got the chance to study up on some flatware patterns, which are easy to find now online, you can make a really good profit. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon.